Hello, friends, and welcome to a Daily Devo with Dot. We are beginning a new study called When Peace Rules Your Heart. Now, I don't know if you're like me and you are desperate for peace in everyday living. Peace is something I believe, are all looking for. We are all trying to obtain, and not just in our day to day, the big picture of day to day, but even moment by moment when situations arise or when the unexpected hits or when that person says that thing that just triggers you or your kid just needs you this moment and your peace is being threatened. Well, we're coming together as a community, not of perfection, but just a community who can say, hey, I really am longing for peace in my life. What are truths that the Bible has that shows me practical ways to apply peace into my life? And I come to you not as an expert, not as a person who has it figured out. I come to you as a person who is seeking peace and pursuing peace in my life and studying peace. And because of that, God has shown me some wonderful truths, and I'm just wanting to show you the truths that God is sharing with me. Not coming to you as someone who has it mastered, because I think the reality is, if we were all honest, we would all say we all fall short. And that's why we need God. We need Him in our lives. And He is the Prince of Peace. He is the peacemaker. He is the one who can calm the storm. He is the one who has authority over the storm. And when things are rocky and crazy in your life, He has the authority to calm it down. The question is, do we willingly allow Him to calm the storm, or do we try to fix it ourselves? So, in today's lesson, we're going to talk about just how precious peace is and the treasure that peace is. And I really don't have to elaborate that, because you know what a beautiful treasure peace is. You know how rare it is in your life, and when you have it, you guard it and you treasure it and you want to do everything you can to hold on to it. But just like God has beautiful treasures and wonderful benefits for His children, don't you know that the devil is very aware of how needful it is in your life and how valuable it is in your life? And just as God has wonderful treasures, be aware that the devil has counterfeits. You see, unfortunately, most Christians live day to day with not even obtaining that peace in their life. Most Christians may not even be aware of how to obtain it or that it's even available. They're unaware to how vital it is in their life. They don't pursue peace. They don't seek after it. And Psalms tells us, Psalms 34:14 says to seek peace and pursue it. So it's very important for us to know how to seek it, where to pursue it, and I would dare say that a lot of Christians do not. They fall short on that. But their ignorance to it is something that I think the devil takes advantage of, because he's very aware and very mindful of how desperately we need it in our lives. And I think that's where he really trips most of us up day to day. It's just our peace of mind, and how quickly anxiety and stress and frustration can come in and just really overtake us. So he has counterfeits out there. He has things that are alluring and things that he wants us to chase after, because he knows how valuable peace is. I worked at a bank for several years, and one of the things as a teller we were trained to do was be aware of the counterfeits. Now, there are a lot of different varieties and a lot of people who are pretty creative out there. Some are just dumb. I remember one day in particular, a gas station had made a deposit, and I was counting all this wad of money, and all of a sudden I came across several dollar bills that looked funny, felt funny, and they got my attention very quickly, and I looked at them, and y'all, they were nothing more than Just copy paper, just plain copy paper, and someone had printed it in a dollar bill in color. So it was green, and that's all it was. And bless the teller's heart, whoever had taken that deposit just took it unaware, was not mindful that it was not even real money. And unfortunately, that gas station lost out on several dollars that day because we couldn't accept it. We could not take it because it wasn't real. And do you know how we were trained to recognize the counterfeit? It wasn't because we studied every counterfeit option. No, I never even studied that option. I was never even told that that could be an option. It was just because we were trained to recognize what was real. We held real money. We examined it in the lights. We put the markers on a real bill, and we got to know what was real. We felt it. We recognized it. We were aware. So when the fake one hit my hand, I knew it didn't feel right. It felt different. And that's how it is in your life. When the devil comes to you with those counterfeits, and he tells you to run after this, and he tries to distract you with a different option, then it shouldn't feel right in your life. It should feel odd. It should feel fake. It should feel just wrong. And so today what I want us to do is just to talk a little bit about the enemy's counterfeits, those cheap counterfeits that he puts in your life, and be aware that they are nothing more than a temporary fix. You see, what God offers to be everlasting, and what God offers to be withstanding and last throughout the test of time, and what will ground you and what will keep you stable and secure and rooted, the devil is just the opposite. His are always just temporary fixes that leave you feeling empty, and leave you feeling insecure, and leave you feeling unstable. So let's talk about, just for a moment, some of these ways that, or some of the ways that we can identify the counterfeit. Well, one, it will only offer a temporary satisfaction. That is a huge telltale sign that that's not peace. Peace is not a moment of glory. Now, yes, it's exciting to have a moment of glory, but that's not where we find peace. Peace is not in accomplished dreams. Man, we all chase down those dreams, and it's great to hit those goals and accomplish dreams, but that is not where long-lasting peace is found. It's not in a completed goal. It's not in a victory. As wonderful as victories are, that's not where we find peace. It's not in financial wealth. And yet, so many of us spend all of our time being consumed in money. You know, everything revolves around money. So that's where we put all of our time and talents and resources, and we're trying to make that money, but that's not where peace is. Peace is not in fame. We live in a very craved fame, a fame craved society where everyone wants to hit that viral video or post, and people want recognition. People want to be in the magazines, in the spotlight. And what's so sad is we even see it in the Christian circle. People are now using the name of God as nothing more than a marketing tool. That is not where we find peace. Peace is not in the number of followers you have on your social media page. Peace is not in your name being well known in people's houses, or a best-selling book, or a popular song, or your whatever the case is, whatever you're chasing after. That's not where peace is. Peace is not in popularity or even material substance. And unfortunately, so many people spend their life trying to get that next thing, that next outfit, that next designer purse, that next new iPhone or Apple gadget or whatever. It's not in a boat. It's not in a four-wheeler. It's not in a big, huge home. It's not in the thing that you think you have to have right now. And listen, the devil is so good and wise, you know? He's like, oh, if I could just have that long, beautiful hair, so I'm going to get the extensions. Or, oh, if I could just have less wrinkles, so I'm going to get the Botox. Or, if I was just a little bit skinnier, so I'm going to do this new diet fad that's out there. If I could just have that big, beautiful house and people would recognize me. If I could just live in this certain neighborhood. Y'all, we can chase material things all day long, but they'll just leave us wanting more. It's not in a perfect body. It's not in well-behaved children. I know, we look at other people's families and we think, oh, they got it all together. It's not in well-behaved little children who, you know, never disappoint us. It's not in having a picture-perfect Instagram life. It's not in a successful career. It's not even in the next adventure. Some of you live your life for adventure. What's the next adventure you're going on? And while you're there, you're not even enjoying that one because you're already planning the next one. Life is not in the next adventure. It's not in an attentive husband who buys you lots of presents, or who is so handsome that all the women swoon over him, or it's not in a relationship that looks perfect on social media and he's doing great things for you and taking you out to nice dinners. And peace is not found there. And it's not found in food. It's not found in alcohol. It's not found in drugs or any other substance. Peace is not something you can chase after. It's not in what you chase after. It's in who you chase after. Do you see? When you are on a pursuit for peace, it's not in what you chase, it's in who you chase. And as long as you are running after any of those things, they are going to leave you disappointed. Now, is well-behaved children a bad thing? Absolutely not. And I will say it probably helps with your peace of mind. Is having a healthy body wrong? Absolutely not. We should all be trying to work towards having a healthy body. Is having a healthy marriage or successful career or having wealth or the Lord has blessed you in your ministry and people know your name. Are those things bad? No, those things are not bad. But when you become obsessed with obtaining those things, if you think you are going to find peace there, you are mistaken. You see, anytime we try to chase after anything other than the Prince of Peace, we will feel ourselves disappointed, unsatisfied, and empty. Today, I want you to examine your heart and see if peace is residing there. If you are content and you are sleeping well at night, and even though your life isn't picture perfect, you have peace of mind, then I would say that your relationship with God is right where it needs to be. But today, if you examine your heart and you feel strife there, if you feel anxiety, if you feel depression, if you feel the fear and the worry, and those things are dictating your life, not saying you won't feel those things ever, but saying that that is what is ruling your life, then I want you to just take a moment with the Lord and just go to Him and talk to Him. You see, in Colossians 3:15, the Bible tells us, let the peace of God rule in your heart. If God is ruling and reigning in your heart, then His peace is there as well. Peace is the product of God's presence. So if you are lacking peace in your life, if peace is not residing in your heart, it's because you've placed it with a cheap counterfeit. What is it that you have replaced the Lord with? When God is first in your life, when you seek Him first, Matthew 6:33 tells us that when we seek Him first, all these things shall be added unto you. So the peace the joy, the wisdom, the gentleness, the faith, the goodness, all those things are added to you. And God has a way of blessing you with all the other things in life. The well-behaved children, the happy marriage, victories and dreams and goals, and God has a way of just allowing you to feel the contentment and the peace right in the midst of the trials, the storms, when life isn't so perfect. God is good. God has a plan for you and a purpose for you that goes way above anything you could ever imagine. But are you pursuing Him? He has to be the thing you're seeking. He has to be what you are chasing. And remember, peace will never be obtained in what you pursue, but in who you pursue. So let me ask you today, have you pursued the Prince of Peace today? Have you spent time with Him? If you have not, go do that right now. Go spend time with Him. Let Him fill your heart with peace. Let the peace of God rule in your heart. He can change you and transform you and give you the life of peace that you desperately need. Friends, thank you for joining me today on our study. I look forward to being with you tomorrow. Blessings and joy.